Let's go. It's game week. We are back. A-team in the house right here. We are so excited to be with you tonight. We are joined by special guest, the voice of Dana J. Dyko Stadium, Ryan Howlett. So we'll get in it with Ryan here. We had him on last year right around this time, and we are so excited to talk to him again. But folks, we made it. We are officially in Jackrabbit game week. All you folks on us about being the B team and being late, come on, let's settle down here. Settle down. All right.
Honestly, it was my fault. So
we weren't going to sell you down the river.
Oh, we weren't selling
I was
you.
mowing my lawn until like 7:55, and I'm probably going to switch computers here. Let this bounce for a second, but it's my fault, everybody. It's not the A-team's fault. It's my fault.
There we go. Oh, shoot. All right. Well, Ryan gets settled in here. We got to thank some sponsors. First off, have to talk about the Kubota dealers of South Dakota. They're back with us again as our title sponsor of everything Jackrabbit Illustrated this year. I don't know. I'm getting tired of mowing my yard. I keep bringing this up. I'm ready to blow some snow. Just mowed my yard again today for 3 hours. And I've put some hours on my machine finally after complaining about not putting hours on. Definitely put some on. Likely gonna have to change the oil before winter again. And it is what it is. But if you need something to help you with your yard, business, farm, ranch, acreage, whatever it is, the Kubota dealers of South Dakota can get you the piece of equipment that is right for you. Next up, got to thank Hadrick Ranch for being the show sponsor. We have talked about Hadrick Ranch a couple different times now, and we absolutely love the beef from Hadrick Ranch. And I know he's delivered out to our friends out in Pierre. Jim Poppin got some. He brought some over to Brookings and Sioux Falls area a few weeks ago. I know Troy moved in one of his daughters back at SDSU and brought some stuff to Brookings just this last Friday. So if you need a beef bundle, they can ship it anywhere in the continental United States. And so it's some of the best beef around. I grew up on a farm and ranch where we raised great cattle as well. And this stuff is right there with it. So absolutely delicious. Thank you to Hadrick Ranch for sponsoring the A-team this year. We're excited to partner with you in some of the things we have going on this football season. So we're going to get into a news and notes segment here. And that's going to be sponsored by Cubbies. We're, of course, excited about Cubbies. They're jacked up. Shirts are ready. There may be some fun stuff happening that we get to announce or get to share or reshare later this week with Cubbies and someone else. So super excited about that. Can't say more right now, but it's going to be delicious. But yeah, thank you, Cubbies. Stop in there before or after the game to get your food and drink. It's the best spot to be. We all have great memories of Cubbies, and it's still just an amazing place to be. So thank you, Cubbies, for sponsoring, being a segment sponsor of the A-team this year. So Ryan, how the heck you doing, man?
I'm doing really well. I'm super excited for this week. It's been just a really intense time at work for me, so I can't wait for this distraction. I'm just super pumped.
Yeah. Dallas, Chad, how are you guys?
Man, it's been a great week for me. I can't complain. My Kubota's got to go in. I think I'm not go in, but I'm gonna have to get some of them Kubota genuine parts, get some oil filters, and change the oil because that thing's been seeing lots of use too down here. I just want to remind everybody we do have the Wooden Legs Brewing fan cakes that the B team will be going live from, and I don't know, that might be the first B team show this year. We haven't quite talked about that, but it might be the second one.
It's only B team. I get to be.
Well, no, everybody's welcome.
What?
Everybody's welcome.
Everybody.
Okay,
What,
we're all going to be
Chad?
there. Never mind.
There
was some talk about that early on. My bad. Production meeting of me and only me here. No, yeah, we're professionals. So yeah, everything's well, man. It's great to be back in the swing of things. Got a lot of podcasts coming your way. So yeah.
Dallas, what about you, man?
Yep, I'm good. Really happy that college football is back. God, that was fun. Weather cools off. All kinds of games to watch yesterday. and getting ready to settle in and prep for a game week.
There we go. Okay. So news and notes. A couple things here. There are 300 tickets left, folks. The Green Dot Watch put that out a little while ago. I'm not sure exactly where the count's at now, but it was 301 tickets. So if you want to go or have a friend that wants to go, now is the time to buy them if you want to be in the building for this game, which is going to be a pretty darn good game, I must say. So,
I think so too. This one's going to be a riot.
Yeah. So that's exciting. Next up this week, you may have missed this on Twitter and Facebook just because it didn't have a picture attached to it, and that seems to be how things are found nowadays is with pictures. But the Jacks kicker competition, we talked about that briefly last week when we did the depth chart, and that it was a little questionable. I don't think it's a question any longer. The Jacks signed Eli Stater, I believe is his name, maybe Statter. A transfer kicker from Northwestern Iowa. He was a 2-time All-American, 4-time All-Conference, big kid, 6 foot, not huge, I guess, but bigger than some kickers, 6 foot, that area. Booted 60 yards last year in a game. There's clips of him making 55-yarders on his Twitter timeline. Looks pretty dang good. It's going to be nice to have someone with some big game experience. A couple national championships down there at Northwestern, so he knows what it means to kick in big moments.
Yeah, I'm most excited about that because you look at kicking just translates, right? I mean, a big moment is a big moment. It's going to be in front of more people, sure, but the dude's won championships. His leg is what it is. The field's the same size. Like, I think this is going to translate very well, and this is going to be a huge piece, especially the way that we've talked about how this team is going to take some weeks to take shape. And there could be some meat grinder games. It's possible early on that won't be meat grindery later in the season. But man, having that kind of leg and stability at the kicking position early on, I think is going to be huge.
And just a quick update, Green Dot Watch tweeted out 241 tickets. So we've already moved 50 or 60 in that short of time. So
Sweet.
Cool. So Ryan, second season now is the voice. How you feeling, man? How did year one go in your opinion?
I thought year one, it was okay. We got some good energy in the stadium. I think it was after those first couple weeks after I figured out how much the fans really want to yell first down, and we got that call back. It was, things are rolling. Starting to get nervous. Good nervous, those butterflies. We'll get to start doing prep. I'm going up there tomorrow to watch our practice, and Dan said, hey, let's just connect a couple things, just get some expectations. So yeah, it should be fun. Good.
Did you see the energy he brought for the meat state, the welcome rally or whatever it is for all the freshmen?
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, so he's bringing the heat there. So that's good. So anything you're going to change this year, Ryan?
God, that's a great question. I don't think so. People have asked about a signature call, but the fans are so awesome that it's so loud when you score a touchdown or have a big play. It's like you don't really notice the PA because you guys kind of drown it out, and that's the way we want it. Let's just go touchdown Jacks and have the fans yelling and loud and rowdy, and let's just make sure that we got the best atmosphere in FCS, and that's what I want. That's how I want to roll, and just energy. Players feed off it, crowd feeds off themselves. Let's roll.
Yeah, certainly it helps to be loud when opposing teams are there and they're trying to learn, a new offense. So that could be an advantage this week. Got to be loud on third down, guys. Got to be loud.
And first and second. It's okay.
Well, yeah. But, especially loud on third down.
Yeah.
I was talking to former coaching staff, and they were just like, they don't understand the fans. You guys don't understand on especially kicking and special teams plays, how important it is to be loud. He's like, those guys are special teamers, and they're underclassmen, and they're younger, and they're coming on for 1, 2, 5 plays a game, and they're playing in front of 3,000-4,000 fans, and then they come here and there's 19,000. And when you're loud, that really messes up the special teams plays. And so they made a point to try to stress some of that stuff. So we'll try to do some special calls to try to get more energy around special teams and extra points and those type of things and try to turn some plays in the game that way. But that's one thing that they really stressed last year.
Sure.
Just need to get free B-dubs for every missed field goal. There we go. That's how the kids get loud in Frost Arena.
We want wings.
We want wings. We want wings. Anyway.
Hey, Chad, way to drop a non-sponsor there.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't promising free food from any of our sponsors. Let's put it that way.
So, Ryan, question comes from JD Dorman here. For player name pronunciation, do you go off the website, ask the coaches, or ask the players themselves?
It's twofold. On most of the team's websites, if you go click on a player, it has a little WAV file of them saying their own name. But then as part of prep, I'm usually up on that 5th floor 90 minutes, 2 hours before a game, just to kind of get the lay of the land, get a couple of the special calls that I want, which we should make one up for you, Jackrabbits Illustrated guys. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But the opposing AD is the person to talk to. So I'll go walk through it with Jason Hove and Tyler before the first game here for us. But I don't bother the coaches or the players with that. That's all the ADs and the sports information folks. The sports information folks that came last year, they were really great. They don't want you to mess their player's name up even on the road. So we make sure to check in with each of those for the ones that you got a question for.
Yeah. And JD, I'm assuming that question wasn't for us because we just make it up however it looks. So, Chad, Dallas, and myself might have 3 different ways to say it. So
that's 100% true.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's even rough with the new guys that we got coming in. We got to figure it out. Julius's last name could be pronounced any 3 ways, but I think Low Ridge is the right way now. We've settled on. So
yeah,
it's Low Ridge. Okay, that was one of the ones I had starred for questions. I was like,
well, I mean, Go Jacks maybe has it on there now. I'll have to go look.
I think it does. I was actually going through the Sac State already. My favorite is Fata Poloka. Is so far my favorite name on that team.
Oh, man,
there's some good ones.
The Hawaiian names are tough, man.
Yep.
It's like because it's just not it's not the word like build that we're used to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for those of you wondering what position Fata plays, that would be a linebacker.
Yep, outside linebacker.
Awesome.
Yeah, and actually I pronounced it wrong because I pronounced the A 2 different ways. It'd be Fata. Okay.
Fata.
Because there's only
Luke, you are my Fata.
All the vowels only have one pronunciation. If Whiston is watching, he's gonna text me and yell at me for that.
He needs to come on here and help us pronounce some of these names.
Ooh,
so,
I like that. I totally would do that.
Yeah. So Ryan, you said you had some ideas, or you have an idea for this year, something new that you said. So
I have one thing that I want to do that I want everybody to get super loud this first game in the first quarter. When that article came out this spring about Chase Mason and Quentin Christensen being the guys that spent 10, 12 hours a day, like on the phone. I mean, Chase is going to get his due, but we said maybe a lineman's name once, twice when they recovered a fumble last year. And that was it. And so in the first quarter of the first game, Jackrabbit Nation to say thanks to Quentin. When we have a run off his side, I want to be like, hey, a run by Loffridge for 6 yards following the block of number 69, Quentin Christensen, and have everybody get real loud, stand up, and give the kid his due for pulling that off and doing that together. And so I love that's that. One thing that we could do. And I was like, Coach, this is an out of the box idea. I got to get some press on somewhere to get the fans to buy in. And he was like, that's a great idea, man. Let's roll. So he gave us our blessing to announce a lineman's name in a weird spot, and let's do it.
Let's make that a thing. I love that.
Can we follow it with just a Q? Q, maybe.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
You say his name, we'll all yell Q,
Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
Cool. No, great idea, Ryan. Love it.
Yeah. I just think with the off season that we had and the tumultuous thing that it was to rebuild the way we did and like be a top 5 team going back into the season. And hey, man, we reload, and we even reloaded with a change in administration. And let's say thanks to the couple of the guys that helped us out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of credit to Dan bringing in the guys, the staff.
Mm-hmm. Ryan, I have a question. Was it weird or was it hard going from being a fan in the stands to up in the box up there? Like, was that a challenging move? I guess. Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing was because you can't really tailgate, so that was kind of a bummer. I'd still go to tailgates, but like it got real weird, especially like right at the first couple times because people were like want to talk to you. And I'm like, I don't know anything that's gonna happen, guys. It's like, so that was kind of different. But I think the hardest part actually was like, especially the first 2 games, because I was sick, I didn't feel very good, and just some of those games that aren't close, like last half of the third quarter and the fourth quarter when we're blowing people out,
Mm-hmm.
your brain just kind of wanders and you're not watching the game as much as you normally are. And so then to have to stay engaged in every play, that was by far the hardest part of the whole thing. That like, you just kind of wanted to be kicking off, having a drink, messing off with your buddies at the middle of the fourth quarter when we're up by 40. And you still got to stay engaged, and you just forget how long a football game is.
Yeah. And I suppose, and in those times too, like it's a whole bunch of new numbers and new players out on the field as well. So that's kind of their moment, and you don't want to botch it for them either. Like that.
Especially because like some of those kids, like that might be their only time they play, and they might go transfer off to Northwestern, in reverse next year. And like the only time Jackrabbit Nation is going to get to hear that kid's name and have him be loud is in that fourth quarter. So you want to make sure that you keep the energy up too the whole time, because we're a professional outfit and we owe it to those players. They come in and work hours a day to entertain us. So we should make sure we keep the standard up even in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. So that means you swapped your normal tailgate beverage for energy drinks to keep your energy up throughout the game, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Those energy drinks kind of scare me, but like I think the first game, like I just felt terrible. I probably had COVID would be my guess, but like I had so much iced tea and Diet Coke and ibuprofen to make it through that first week, because I didn't want to like be like my first week be sick, and it was just I just was like just drained, and so I was just so much caffeine that first game and stuff.
Yeah. So Seth Fisher here says, not being able to give my opinion when things aren't going well would be really tough. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
But like when you're up there, it's you got your headset on, and like then your spotter for defense is to your right, and the person who runs that interacts with a scoreboard, and literally like in a football play, I've got wide latitude to make the call. But after a football play, like in between games and stuff, or in between like timeouts and things, you can't say anything without Megan, right? She's the brains of that whole booth up there, because she writes the script, she does all that stuff. So you can't say anything without her, but she's a huge fan too. And so like, there's a lot of times, you don't have your hand on the button, and then we all talk freely up there, and everybody knows to be quiet when I put your hand on the button, because then they could hear you. But that's the worst when you make a bad play. The cool thing is like some of those interceptions, especially ones that were like down the middle, like you're just up so high, you can tell it's going to be an interception before it happens, So you're just like, so it's fun being up there. But like the hardest part of the whole thing is that south end zone, man. That's a long way, because you're on about the north 10 or 15 yard line is where the booth is. And so when when it's down there and they're running and stuff, it's hard to see like what yard line do they get in, it depends.
I didn't know you were so far north there. That's news to me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're closer to us than to the students.
Oh yeah, by far.
Yeah. And
You
got to
know.
get this in from Jim Poppin here. Guess that you can't pull a Phil and think about leaving early, right? So, yeah.
No, there's none of that. You can't. Which by the time you actually wrap up and all that stuff, it's actually kind of nice because you're not fighting traffic anymore.
Yeah, you don't have traffic. Yeah. Yep.
It's all cleared out.
Yeah. Any other questions from the peanut gallery, the comments here? What do you got for Ryan, guys?
I always try to work in a couple of my buddies to say hi to them. So what special shout out do you guys want for Jackrabbit Illustrated this week? I always come up with like a weird phrase. Like one of my friends was from the Campbell County School, and they're the Campbell County Express. And so I was like, Amar Johnson jumped on the Express in a gain of 32.
Oh man!
So by the time this segment's over, we need to have like, what's the shout out to say hi to Jackrabbit Illustrated?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's we could. I don't know about garage time. I don't think
I
we're
always
gonna get into
did, yeah.
garage time. If we get into garage time, that would be epic. I would love to get into garage time. We really don't know how this game's going to play out. And just for your knowledge, garage time is the same thing as garbage time. I just misspelled it on a text that I sent once to the B team, and it's lived its lore ever since. So it's become a thing. It's the name of our new beer that we're doing with wooden legs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The question about Under the Weather, I'm assuming Tom Manzer, the guy who just retired from it, would do it. Last year, sorry about my dog. My dog's name is Chad as well, so that's funny.
That's
Let's just all yell, "Shut up, Chad!" Damn it, Chad!
Chad's everywhere ruining things. There you go.
Gosh, that's funny. Okay.
Dan Newman wants to know what the fastest you can make a bathroom break is. That's kind of funny. Funny thing is, he has a urinal in the booth. You didn't know. I'm just making that up.
There's a private bathroom up there on the 5th floor, and it's like there's about usually 3-4 minutes when the pride's done before you got to say anything. So that's the time you hit it. So that's where you go.
I just figured our nursing department took care of you.
Yeah, right. Just
you didn't have to leave the booth. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that seems like a comfortable thing to do for every game.
yeah.
It's for learning, Chad. It's for learning.
All right.
Wow.
Now that we've
the rails for the
now that
18
we've
here.
inferred catheters 25 minutes in, let's start talking Sac State.
Yeah, thanks,
Hold
Newman. Really appreciate that, Dan.
Hold on. First, we have a segment sponsor here for Renegade Regeneration. Dallas, let's do it.
I would love to do that. So this segment coming up brought to you by Renegade Regeneration. It's a company I started with my family here. And, as a former athlete, I still like to try to train and try to stay in shape. And I've used a ton of supplements over the years. Really wanted to focus on the things that I use, clean ingredients, simple stuff, make it simple for other people. That is the goal. So I am also right now in the process. I got shut off by Amazon. Anybody that follows me on social media has seen this before, but I was selling only on Amazon. They completely screwed me over, kicked me off the platform. They have all my product. So right now I need to try to sell everything that I can on my website, which I can ship from the Amazon warehouse. So for like another 24 hours here, go to renegaderegeneration.com. I've got 30% off, which basically eats up any of the margin, but it allows me to get it out of their warehouse and not have to pay them for storage. Appreciate everybody that has supported me there. Once we get that done, excited to work on some more products here in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, renegaderegeneration.com.
Just reordered today. Super simple. Thanks, Dallas, for the discount.
You are welcome.
And
Thank you for the order.
All this lawn mowing and golfing. Been sweating outside a lot. So time to restock.
Yeah, I gotta order a couple. I ran through mine mostly and then quit eating healthy, and so then I wasn't hydrating as much, and so need to get that hydration up.
There we go.
It's good stuff.
Awesome. So let's talk Sac State. So they got rid of their coaching staff, hired Brendan Marion, who was the offensive coordinator at UNLV. He spent some time bouncing around all over the place. It's fairly young, and he's created this offense called the Go-Go offense, which is we had to do some research on this because everyone talks about the Go-Go offense, but none of us really know for sure what it was or knew for sure what it was. It's a form of the triple option, but they still pass. It's not like Georgia Tech, where they just want to triple option you to death down the field. They're still going to pass. They're going to take their shots over the top. So that's kind of interesting in itself. Later on tonight, I'll do some retweets and sharing of articles that I've been able to find about this offense because it does look really interesting. Chad, what are your initial impressions of this team?
Well, I've been looking into it for a little while now because from back when I heard about it when he was still at UNLV. So I've watched some videos, did the old Google search of how do you stop a go-go offense? Because I don't know anything about football basically other than I like it. And so one of the key things I think is going to be stopping the run. It primarily starts with the run and then tries to beat you deep, which I guess is most offenses, but just the way they do it's different. They run that sidecar like you and I were talking about before, where they run two tailbacks right side by side with the quarterback out of the long snap. That's one of the things. They don't go under center like a traditional option would, and sometimes they run. It's a lot of misdirection, is how I put it best. You see a lot of plays that almost look like a trick play where you didn't follow the right guy because Brendan Marion says, showing your brother's love in this program is how much you sell, what you're doing when you don't have the football, or maybe I have that backwards.
Yeah,
you might say it the other way around, but yeah. So, they really, really sell the handoff, even if they're not making it. They might have the whole line wash down, have the quarterback and one of the running backs go left, and then the guy that's got the ball actually went to the right. So, a lot of unblocked DNs. So the DNs are really going to have to stay home, set the edge, and be real disciplined in their zone.
You got it.
I think.
Yeah, discipline is absolutely the name of the game. I know, and obviously this is not high school ball, this is Division I football, but the best way to practice against that type of offense in a high school setting is you run it against an offense that doesn't even have a ball, because you have to be gap sound, you have to know your responsibility out of any formation, and it's more about that than it is swarming to the football. So it's you have to be able to make a lot of one-on-one tackles because there typically is people tackling guys that do not have a football. And I know this isn't an old school wing tee, but it's still similar type of concepts with misdirection. And the other thing that I wanted to call out there is the amount of depth that they presumably have at the running back position, because, I think that they're going to be able to keep speed momentum up going into the fourth quarter, because they've got, I want to say it was like 5 or 6 fairly high level running back transfers coming in, and I know we'll talk plenty of transfers later, but led by Curtis, I think is the top guy.
Jamar Curtis.
Yeah, Jamar Curtis, and then a handful of other guys from Pitt, Nevada, and other locations too. So those are my two thoughts on that offense, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, the one thing you brought up that I failed to touch on is tempo. That's another thing they're trying to do with this is run tempo. So that's going to be hard for substitutions. So we need to get those 3 and outs. We can't give up on those third down plays. We can't give up the conversions. That's always true, I guess, but more so the case here. You're not going to have the time to do the substitutions. They're not going to give it to you.
Yep. So the backs that Dallas has mentioned here, Jamar Curtis, transferred from Lafayette, back-to-back All-Patriot League first-team selection. So just like our guy, Patriot League there. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Patriot
Yep.
League's correct. 1,139 yards and 16 touchdowns in 2024. He had more yards in 23 with 1460, but one less touchdown.
Yeah, so very talented backs there. Plus the two that Dallas mentioned, Savion Red from Nevada, Rodney Hammond from Pitt. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. The quarterback position, we're all assuming that Jaden Rashada, right, is going to be the guy. I Googled this guy. Everyone should Google Jaden Rashada if you don't know his story, because he is super interesting. He is the player, you might remember the story, but not the name, that committed to Miami, signed a massive NIL deal, and then backed out, went to Florida, and then Florida offered him this huge package as well, but never came through. So he asked for his release from Florida, and it's how he ended up at Arizona State, where he started 2 games at Arizona State before transferring to Georgia last year, where he never played. And then he transferred to Sac State now. We've seen they had one newspaper guy a couple weeks ago. Alex sent us this, so shout out to Alex for doing some research early. Sat in on a scrimmage that they did, and he was really struggling to throw the ball in that scrimmage. So they also, Sac State, have brought in another transfer. Cardell Williams transfers from Tulsa. Started 4 games in 2023 through 1,149 yards and 10 touchdowns while rushing for almost 205 scores. It would not shock me if he was the starter from what we're hearing coming out of Sac State. We all assumed it was going to be Rashada just based on the pedigree. But this Cardell Williams, in that scrimmage at least,
he took 1 reps.
He looked better. So, we'll see.
2 reps. Real quick, somebody asked if they're no huddle. Obviously, they haven't played yet. We haven't seen it, but UNLV last year was like a shotgun no huddle offense pretty much the whole time. So we assume so.
Yeah. Chad, you want to talk about
the worst?
Worst for you?
It is the worst for you. That's got to make your job way tougher.
Yeah. Who was our first game last year?
Augie?
No, it was the second game. It was we played him in the playoffs too.
Oh, Carter Word.
Carter Word.
Carter Word. That was like,
they're no huddle fast paced too. Yep.
Yeah, man, I was not ready to call a game like that for the first game, and I was just like,
all jacked up on Mountain Dew and still not fast enough.
Yeah.
Gosh. Chad, you want to talk offensive line? They returned some guys, right?
Yeah, they do have a fair number of guys. They brought some in too. They got Sawyer Hayes that's a starter for them. There's some big dudes. He's 6'6", 295. He played tackle. Another guy that played tackle would have been Jordan Herman. He's a transfer out of Charlotte, 6'8", 346. They got Kendall Riley at a left guard. He's a senior from Sac State, 6'3", 321. Cade Greeton, I'm not going to get that name right, 6'4", 294. Davis May, all returners. And then at the right guard, they got Dean Abdullah. I know that Sam with Hero Sports, Sam Herder, mentioned him as somebody that they thought would play. He's 6'4", 295 from the other SDSU in California. And then at tackle, it looks like it's going to be this Aiden Meek playing for them there too. He's also 6'5", 300. So they have Missouri Valley football sized lines. They're not going to be small up front as we've seen. The interesting thing is going to be is if we're not able to rotate our defensive line as much as we'd like, how they'll last, right? So
it's interesting how many returners, and it's not a lot, but in terms of the percentage of returners that they have on the team, a lot of them are actually in the offensive line. And I think I might have missed it, Chad, but there was a Soto that I think was a starter last year that got hurt in the opener, and he's back too.
That could be. I was trying to find who was going to be their center, and I never really found that either. So I'm sure they'll have one.
Oh yeah.
Our sources tell
I know
us
that.
they will
I know
have
that is a
center.
profound statement, but I'm sure they'll have one. We just don't know who it's going to be.
That was funny. I like that. That was good, Chad.
You're welcome.
So, how
It's the
about
whiskey
pass
talking.
catchers? Do we know what they have for pass catchers?
Well, they brought in a
Saying
bunch
too
of
much.
dudes for that too, didn't they? I think they got Gavin Thompson, who was from St. Francis. He was a stud in their league. He had 46 receptions, 7 touchdowns, but only 726 yards. So, guy catches touchdowns. They brought in a 4-star Damian McDaniel that was originally recruited to the UNLV offense. He was redshirted there and came in. They also got Jordan Anderson out of Oregon State and Ernest Campbell from Texas A&M. So they got some studs coming in. Those are the names that were brought up as potential starters. I'm sure they have some returners there too. Didn't get that far into the lineup.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because he only did take 4 UNLV players when he transferred over. 3 of them on offense, 2 of them were receivers, which is interesting, right? Like a receiver wanting to play in this offense, but I think he must really do his best to keep balance in that run versus pass, like he says he wants to. So that's kind of cool.
I'm really curious, talking about the coach a little bit. Typically, when you have a FBS coordinator who steps down into a head coach role at the FCS, I mean, usually they're in that as a stepping stone for the shortest possible time, right? And I don't know the guy, but that's just the way that it is. That is business. That's career progression, right? So this is somebody that obviously is extremely motivated to win and win quickly, which to me, we've seen it obviously shows how he's building his roster, right? He's not going out and beating the bushes trying to, convince every high school kid in California that it's going to be family there, right? I mean, it's 76 new players and they're all from other places.
Yep.
So it's having that type of motivation. I'm curious to see how their season shapes up because he's motivated professionally, I assume, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the interviews, there's a podcast that I watched today, which I'll again tweet out from Sacktown Sports, and it's the Stingers Up podcast, and they did a defensive preview the other day, and a bunch of the coaches basically said that, like, these guys are all coming together because they want to win, like they've bought into the vision, but it was all about like winning, like again, like exactly what you said there, Dallas. No family, no culture, anything like that. We're here to win. Like,
I mean, we get both.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
People want the family and they want the culture.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
For the winning. I mean,
it was one of the defensive line, I think it was the defensive line coach. We'll get into talking about him just here in a second, but his name is Xavier Williams, the player. And the coach goes, well, he just got voted a captain, and he doesn't care if anyone likes him or not. Like, so, like, it just was such a different, like, different thought. Like, he just says the things that need to be said in the room and says the things that need to be said to the other guys, and just different, right? Every program has a different culture. So
it is. More power to him. That sounds like an awful experience, and I genuinely hope we can derail their season very early.
Yeah. Do we want to talk defense on them then? Or any more thoughts on this offense? I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I'm going to spend some time. I'm excited to see what you put out, Matt, on that go-go offense, because I was familiar with it like most everybody was last year, just with UNLV, kind of hearing what they did. But yeah, if you can get some notes put together, just to kind of prep everybody so it doesn't catch us off guard. I'm excited for that.
There is a few YouTube videos with Brandon Marion talking about it, but they're not like full length. They're like clips from some coaching clinic or whatever where he's explaining it.
Interesting.
It's quite interesting. It is, and that's where I heard him say, you show how much you love your brothers on this team by what you do when you don't have the ball, which is opposite of what you just said, but kind of crazy, right? Like, so maybe the defense has a different culture than the offense, which is also kind of strange.
Yeah. I don't know. Definitely. So defensively, they're calling they have 2 separate rooms, one for edge players, one for defensive linemen, and then one for inside linebackers. So I'm assuming that means they're going to play a 3-4. That would be my guess. Dallas, that's what you'd say?
Yeah, that's as good a guess as any. And I'm guessing if we, go through, look at the coaching staff, see if they've done in the past, we could figure it out. Yep. I have not gone to those steps yet. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow.
So in that podcast that I talked about, their defensive coordinator says, they're deep. They're going to throw a lot at you. So it may be a 3-4, maybe a 4-2-5, I guess. But he said they're going to change their personnel, man-to-man physical defense. So we'll see what that looks like with what we're trying to do. Again, mentioned they have a lot of transfers. They have some decent size up front. I know they lost 2 or 3 defensive tackles to the portal, but they're still big guys, and they brought in a bunch there too. The Xavier Williams came up in a couple different conversations. And then this Melvin's, what is his name?
Swindell II.
Melvin Swindell II. Thank you, Chad. He played at Eastern Michigan, which I know is MAC, but he's played over 500 snaps for Eastern Michigan. So it's not just a guy that sat on the bench and came over looking for time. He's an interesting one that they have coming there. And then they mentioned some other younger guys. But again, they did bring in a number of transfers at this position. So it's kind of hard to tell.
It is. And I'm sure their coaching staff doesn't even know what they have in terms of depth. So they've got size, but we know what it takes to win in the Missouri Valley, and it's depth in the defensive line. So, I'm fully expecting a tie ball game at halftime here, or very close to it. But, what can we do to wear them down towards the end? And do they have the depth to stand, to handle that before we start cracking off rushes at 20 yards a pop? I'm one of the, did you mention Hampton? That name popped out in a couple of articles talking about, I think he had some sacks in the scrimmages, that they're really happy with him and excited for him.
Yep. He's one that they listed right away.
Okay.
And then the Josh Cashola is going to be playing that edge, other edge, likely opposite him. He mentioned that Diego Davis is a guy that's learning both inside and edge. So see about that.
Like Claiborne.
Yep.
That's what came to mind exactly.
Yep.
I might have mispronounced it. It might be Swindle, not Swindell. So I might have had that wrong.
Sure. Swindle. Yeah. Melvin Swindle. There we are.
If you would have went to the website.
Thanks, Ryan. I'm not the professional.
Good luck with this one, Ryan, because you're going to have to learn a lot of names that probably aren't even making the trip.
That's the worst. Like, you star like all these ones, It's like, I always go to their website, and I've already done it, and you download the roster, and I put it in Excel, and I sort it by offense, defense, and then by number, so it's easy to find. And so you're going over to the sheets you make with the opposing SID, and they're like, "Oh, he didn't make the trip. You can scratch that guy." I'm like, I've been over that name for 15 minutes.
I should give you a 2 deep like on Friday afternoon or something.
Yeah,
so
right.
You can just they should have a standardized form for everybody that teams just trade, and that would be nice.
Yeah,
I know I heard in something recently that they were really impressed with how much the defense dominated their offense. So, we spent a lot of time talking about their offense, but it could be their defense that's winning them games this year. And I do like what we're bringing to the table offensively. We've got a lot at wide receiver, but they were picking their guy off a lot. So Chase is going to have to be careful with the ball. Obviously winning the turnover battle is always key in winning a game.
Yeah, I saw that in both the articles I read, that they called out turnovers by that defense. So that's something that, both Chase and running backs are going to have to be careful and hang on to the football and make good decisions because, it's you don't want to be in a dogfight. Like I said, I think it'll be a relatively close game early on, especially because, our coaching staff obviously knows a lot more than we do, but they don't know what they're bringing. They don't know who's going to make the bus for Sac State. So there's going to be a lot of feeling stuff out early on. So it could be kind of, that heavyweight fight, trading blows, sizing each other up.
Mm-hmm.
And then the game is going to be won early in the third quarter on who makes the best adjustments.
Yep. That I'm glad Ron said their secondary will be their weak spot. I think watching that,
Ron says a lot of things.
No, but watch. He does. Ron's our top commenter. Thank you, Ron, for being here.
I know. I mean that in a loving way, Ron.
But watching that interview with their defensive coordinator and their cornerback coach has just stressed about, like they're really trying to build confidence in these guys. And it sounded kind of like coach speak, like we don't love what we have right now. Defensive coordinator kind of sounded the same way too, with just their emphasis on like getting pressure to make it not so stressful for the guys on the back end, which again makes some sense. I know every defensive coordinator says that, but it was just interesting when you pair them together. Ricky Lee is a transfer that they brought in that got brought up at that cornerback position. So we'll see about that. That's kind of interesting.
I don't know. It's gonna have to come talk to me at tailgate, I guess.
Yeah. So there we go.
Aaron Amick says the Amick girls are curious if Miles Tollefson, Matt's son, has claimed sponsorship for me for the whole season, or if they have to consider Dallas. I mean, as far as I know, Dallas's NIL is open,
wide open. DMs are open.
There we go.
He's better looking than me, but I got him beat in the beard.
Yeah, no, that's false. You got the beard, bud.
Awesome. So, anything else for Sac State here before we get into some predictions?
We didn't talk about, and maybe we don't need to, but didn't talk about all the drama in the postseason. Like, this game is exciting, and I'm excited because I think our fans have a really good feel for the landscape of the FCS and things that are going on outside of Brookings and even outside of the Missouri Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got all this drama that went on and them trying to, force their way into the FBS, and their president, Dr. Wood, making loudmouth comments on Twitter and calling it JV. And I hope to God someone has shirts or signs that say "Welcome to JV" on Saturday. That will make me so happy.
There you go, Ryan.
Especially if we get up early.
Does that. Yeah, if somebody does that, because this is, we've got the opportunity to make a serious statement about, nope, this is real football. This is again, you've got all those, they're great athletes, right? All these transfers, all tremendous athletes, bunch of, guys with stars by their names, all that kind of crap. But if you play sound, disciplined football, pound the rock, you've got the depth on the line, and we can put them away and make them question the decisions that they made that led them here to this point. So anyway, there's a lot going on. This is an exciting game, guys.
Can you imagine how? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I just don't understand what their president and AD are thinking and talking that much. It's like, dude, you got a limited path to get there, and you're running your mouth. I mean, just work as hard as you can to get there if you really want to be FBS, and don't run your mouth.
Do you think that'll be a distraction, Ryan? Do you think that'll distract the players, or they just checked in? They don't worry about that stuff?
I don't think that'll distract the players. But I mean, if I'm a player and they're calling me JV, like, are you like feeling bad about that? Like, I don't know. I think it goes back to program culture. You talk about like our program culture, we would just never say that. So it just was so foreign to me.
Yeah. Certainly not on social media. There's been other distractions too with the whole stadium thing falling through.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Like they have a lot going on there. And can you imagine being Brendan Marion and going out and seeing your president saying something like that? Barry Dunn would never, ever, ever say anything like that. But to be like, oh, geez, don't give him any bulletin board material there, bud.
Yeah.
It's like
The idea of President Dunn doing something like that is so funny to me.
it's so far from reality that
Oh man,
Like,
I
you
love
know,
our stability.
I've been in when I used to work at SDSU, and Barry Dunn or President Dunn would talk about the mission of land grant universities. Like, one of his favorite jokes was that Ohio State should give back their land grant university token because they've become so selective with their students now. Like, that was his jab, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I love it. I love it.
that's
Yep.
awesome.
So, all right. Chad, talk about
Yes, sir.
Northwestern Mutual for us.
Northwestern Mutual. Have you got your life insurance? If you haven't and you have a family, what are you waiting for? Northwestern Mutual is your one-stop shop for life insurance, investments. They can set up your whole financial plan. They got certified financial planners and the like to help you out, get you set up. I know that talking with Matt, they really have helped him out, get his things in order. Maybe you got 3 401ks from different outfits and they can get it into one so you can easily see where your stuff is and get it put into funds that they know are going to perform for you. They can help you with that. And, you know, they've been a great partners with us, and we've got the Alex's Lemonade stand going again this year. I don't know. I don't think they actually said
Still
who it
haven't
is yet.
announced it. No.
Gosh darn. Y'all could probably figure it out. It's going to be a big name. We're going to have a good time. We're going to beat the brakes off of everybody else. I got the rum chata ready to go for the pudding shots already. Get your $20 bills, your $10 bills, your $5 bills, your $1 bills, $100 bills. We'll take it. We'll give you some pudding shots, and it's going to be a great time.
There we
Save
go.
a pudding shot for me for after the game. So
I can hand it to you before. You'll just have to put it in the freezer.
okay.
There we go.
I'm hard to track down after the game. If you're cleaning up and gone after the traffic, I'm already gone too. But you can come beforehand and get free food, right?
God, don't let UPD see you with pudding shots after the game, though. By God,
Yeah, right.
we're all in trouble.
Yeah.
True.
All right. Here we go. So, Chad, we'll start. No, Ryan, you're our guest. You're our guest. So we always do the offense, defense, and the score prediction. So for offense, player of the week, who's it going to be? Who's making the difference for us, putting us over the top?
Man, I'm gonna go running back because just first game, you know, Chase is gonna do fine. He's gonna ball out. His deep ball looked so good at the spring game. But I think still probably just go a little run heavy. So let's go Loffridge.
Go. All right.
Julius. Do they call him Juice? I think they do, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I've seen that somewhere that they call it Julius, you know, like Orange Julius.
We do now.
Okay, Juice it is.
Yep.
Chad, what about you?
I mean, I'm going 605 Hogs all day, every day, just like Darren Amick. And I know I'm taking it away from you, Matt. I can see it in your face.
No, it's a position group, not a player. You guys give me so much
Quentin
grief about
Christensen, fine. You. I deserve that. You're right.
Dallas.
Okay, so I put actually a lot of thought into this. I'm going to take a little different direction early in the season, and I'm going to say transfers tell the story for SDSU. And I like Isaiah Castaneda, or he's a hyphen, isn't he? Garcia Castaneda.
We'll call him
IGC. I like that. IGC. I'm going with IGC. Transfer out of Nebraska. He's got some wiggle. He's going to light stuff up.
Oh,
got some wiggle.
Man, I'm going with Jim Poppin, Lofton Ogroski. He's been tearing it up all camp. Big things expected of Lofton. So Lofton Ogroski here.
Man, we are deep at wide receiver. I like it.
Dude, our wide receiver room, that's like, to me, is the biggest surprise. I think the way it sounds this year. This is going to be great.
Yep. All right, Ryan, what about defense?
Man, you got me here. I'm like looking at the roster, trying to pick somebody out, but you got to give me a minute or two. I mean, it is just so much stuff happening. I think it's going to be somebody with a big pick at like a big time. That's like a young kid in the secondary who's like, maybe early fourth quarter, and that kind of changes the game. So I'm calling one of the Chase Van Tol was one of the names I was looking at. He had a couple good plays in some of those end games. So Seth, I was back in. That's probably a good call, but that's kind of where my brain's at.
I like it.
Van Tol, okay, I like that. All right, Dallas.
All right. Told you transfers are going to tell the story of this game. So I'm going with Mason Brousseau against his former team. He is forcing a fumble in a critical moment.
Okay, I like that. Chad?
I think I'm going with the stunt man, the fill-in, number 11, Joe Ullman, the guy who we used to confuse for Mark when he was on field. At least I did.
There we go. Yep.
The stunt man.
Ryan, I like where you were at with the big interception at a big moment. Dallas, I like where you're at with the transfer thing. I am going to go with Jaden Oliver.
Oh,
this guy, just wait till you see this guy in person, guys. We have not had a player on defense that looks like him in the secondary. It is unusual. So, Jaden Oliver. Score prediction here. Ryan, I don't know if you can do that. Can you do a score prediction?
I did last time and nobody yelled at me, so what the heck?
Sounds good. Okay.
Do it.
Well, what do you got then?
I'm going to say Jacks 27, them 21.
Okay. Chad.
I was thinking like 38-21. Good guys. Not betting against our team. No way.
Yeah, never.
Dallas.
I don't think Colby Claiborne's not getting love, Randy. I think we're just picking outside of the obvious.
Exactly. I'm trying not to. Okay, so every game I could go with Kobe. I could, you could go with Chase Mason. Like we're trying early in the season to put a little more thought into it. All right, so score. I'm gonna go good guys, 31-20, and I actually have a feeling that 20 is going to be on the high side for this defense. For a good portion of this season, but goofy offense early on, figuring stuff out. Them getting a couple of touchdowns and then holding them to a couple of field goals seems fairly realistic, and I think we're going to move the ball, especially late. 31-20.
Okay. I'm right in the ballpark too. I think we double them up. 34-17 Jackrabbits. So,
right.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep. Okay.
Into that question, by the way, like I'm the fans and the players hype guy. Like I'm not the sportscaster broadcaster. So like,
just making sure. Making sure. Don't want you. We don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Chad,
Yes, sir.
Can you walk us through fan cakes again one more time?
Fan cakes. Let's see. I gotta let me pull this up while you say something else.
Yeah. So again, just for tailgating purposes, if you want to tailgate with these guys, the Jackrabbit Book Club has moved to the backyard. We're in the northeast corner of the backyard, almost by the entrance gate there on the east side. So should be a good time. I don't know what the menu is. I'm sure the B team will announce that at some point, but it's gonna be a wonderful day.
And actually, sorry. Yeah, just to keep tap, you were too quick, Chad, because I was going to tap dance there too for a second. I wanted to call out that we're at the start of the season. There's lots of great content out there. So our schedule. We're going to go A team on Sundays, B team on Tuesdays. Scared Money Don't Make Money on Thursdays. Correct, Chad?
That I believe is always when they do it. So yeah.
Okay, just making sure. And then likely a post game. Beyond that, tons of other great content. Make sure you check out Kyle and Splitting Hairs. He does all kinds of cool stuff. You've got on the national landscape, you've got the FCS Fans Nation podcast. Those guys are awesome. Support us well. And then also the FCS Nation radio broadcast that you can stream. All kinds of great content. Get educated.
Zach McKinnell and what he's doing this
year. And
tons of
Zach,
shows.
right? I love
so
Zach.
much. There's no reason to be an ignorant FCS fan about the national landscape. There's
No,
so
there's-
much good content out there now.
So many storylines. Like
Our
it's
fans are really
Dive
good,
in.
though.
Dive
We
in.
don't have run of the mill fans. Let's
Yep.
be honest.
100%.
We accidentally slip up and can't remember something, and they are telling us in the chat what is up. So, Fancakes, in case you aren't familiar with it, they do blueberry and regular pancakes to do yellow and blue. Oh, yeah, I'm not even on the screen here. So it's down at Wooden Legs Brewing Company. Come on down. It starts at 9 a.m. We're going to do a live show from there. Most of us will be there. I think Dallas might be the only one not able to make it.
Yeah, I'm out of town.
Yeah, you're out of town for kids sports, which is awesome. But come on down. They got Cool Beans coffee and some great beer. We're going to have our Lemon Kolsch debut in that day. So come on down and get a garage time. I'm thinking that even if you have to announce a game, you might be able to get a beer that early in the morning and not be affected. So
Hypothetically.
yeah,
There we go.
yeah, you know, I'm always working angles. After that, you can run on down to Cubby's, get yourself some great lunch, and head on over to tailgating. We'll have some pudding shots for you to support our unnamed athlete at for the Alex's Lemonade stand. So I'm going to push on Kevin to announce that soon so we can bring it to you. If you had to guess, you're probably going to guess right. That's what I'm going to say, because I'm guessing right. I'm not going to say I know, but maybe.
Yep.
Tight end transfer, Jonathan Pico.
Yeah, tight end transfer. I love it. I love that he's going to be a tight end. That's the best. Put him in the 6'9", get him on the line. Let's run the ball down their throats.
Yep. Hey, one other thing here. Jim Poppin brought up the hair raisers. I did just check. They are still alive. They did just release an episode.
Oh,
It should be in your podcast queue right now.
Oh, yeah. They always record on Sundays, don't they? So
Yep.
I would
1 hour ago, it was in the Apple Podcast.
Yeah, check out those guys. They're fun to listen to. They're always having a good time, and they bring some good games they play, like Two Truths and a Lie.
Yep, right. So, all right.
Shout out to the hair raisers. I installed a storm door today with my wife, and because I asked them the same thing about being on the podcast, and I missed them. So sorry, Gerlach. Sorry, Phil.
We're
All
cooler
right.
than them, then? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Yeah. All right.
I'm
Good.
certainly heftier than them.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you are as excited as we are for the game on Saturday. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see a bunch of you at Wooden Legs bright and early, tailgate with you, and then go to the game and scream our faces off together. Chad?
And if we sell out the beer within the first month, I'll have a free beer for whoever gets the last one. Come see me.
What?
Yeah, we only have a
Okay,
limited amount of beer.
Sure,
You know,
sure.
there's like
Yep.
16 kegs.
Yep.
The onus is on our fans to drink that dry.
Yep.
I mean, can we pull what we do down in Texas and drink them out of a quality beer?
Yeah, there we go. And with that challenge has been laid by Chad there. So with that, go big, go blue,
Go blue.
go
Go Jacks.
Jacks.
Woo!